Alone in the woods. How did I get here? That was the question that kept going through Josh's mind. He had been camping in the woods since he was a little kid. He knew enough to stay close to the campsite, yet here he was, stranded in the wilderness with no camp in sight. He had gone down to the stream to wash his hands before dinner. It must have been 2 hours ago. When he started to walk back, he must have taken a wrong turn. One wrong turn was all it took. The immense trees towered overhead. Josh didn't want to admit it, but he was feeling petrified. He shivered and pulled his cap down as far as it would go. The night was getting colder, and he was still in his short-sleeved shirt that he'd been wearing all day. "Hello," he called out. The only answer he got was the hoot of a solitary owl perched in a tree above. He knew owls weren't the only things that lived in these woods. Earlier in the day, he and his dad had seen bear tracks. What if he perished out here? Josh stopped walking. He had to abolish these negative thoughts from his mind. All they were doing was making him more scared. He adjusted his glasses and thought deeply. Now, what did he know about the campsite? He remembered his father saying it was on the northern side of the forest. He looked up and breathed a sigh of relief. There it was, hanging brightly in the sky, the North Star. If Josh followed that star, he might have a chance of finding the campsite. Josh walked in the direction of the star, calling out for help along the way. Suddenly, in the distance, he heard the sweetest sound he could imagine, the sound of his own name. Someone was calling for him. "Mom!" he yelled. "Dad?" "Josh!" the voices answered back. Far up ahead he could see a campfire burning in the woods like a miniature nightlight. He started to run. His mom and dad stood in front of the fire, waving their arms like crazy. He began to laugh. A few minutes ago, he had been terrified of getting attacked by a bear. Now all he wanted was a great big bear hug. Number 1. Why did Josh leave his campsite? Number 2. Describe how Josh is dressed. Number 3. Based on information in the passage, what was the weather like earlier in the day? Number 4. Why did Josh breathe a sigh of relief when he saw the North Star? And number 5. What does the author mean when he says that Josh's name is the sweetest sound he could imagine?